Living paycheck to paycheck is not the vibe in 2025. Like, we're doing something different. We are going to start living below our means. And in today's video, I am going to talk about living below your means. I'm going to give you 8 things that you can do, but I'm also going to give you some identifiers to know if you are living paycheck to paycheck indeed. Because let me tell you something, some people don't think they're living paycheck to paycheck, but let's get into it. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine, aka Budget Treasures, and here on my channel I'll talk about all things finance with the emphasis on budgeting, saving money, and paying off debt. If you are new here, I encourage that you subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so that you know anytime I upload new content. If you are new or if you are a returning bestie, hey girl, hey. All right, let's get into it. Here are some indicators that you are living paycheck to paycheck and you are not living below your means. Spending the same amount of money that you make, or you don't have much left over once you've paid all of your bills and your expenses. That is a true indicator that you are living check to check and you are not living below your means. The second thing is not having a savings or an emergency account. Not having anything saved over or saved up for an emergency, that is an indicator that you are living, my dear, paycheck to paycheck. The need to use credit. If you have to use credit in order to survive, then that means that you are living below, you are not living below your means and you are living paycheck to paycheck. If you need to use credit in order to buy essentials such as food or gas or even some of your bills, then that means, my dear, you are in trouble and you really need this list that we're going to get into on how you can start living below your means. Taking trips and doing fun things all on credit and you have no intentions of like paying it back right away, then that means that you are living above your means and you are living paycheck to paycheck. Another indicator is if you are constantly borrowing money, and that can be from friends, family members, creditors, anything like that. But if you have to constantly borrow money in order to live, then that means that you are living paycheck to paycheck and you need to put some things in order so that you can start living below your means. And if you are just stressed out about finances, then that means that you're spending a lot of money. You're definitely spending more than you have coming in. And I want to help you to reduce that stress tremendously. I know all what it means to be stressed out about money. And I've actually, this list that I have here, I've been every single last one of them, okay? So I am talking merely from experience, okay? So now let's get into the 8 things that you can do to start living below your means. So the first thing that you need to do is what we need to do for a lot of things is change your mind. You have to change your mind about money. You have to change your mind about your financial situation, and you have to desire to want to live below your means. You have to desire to want to have financial security and stability and and not be stressed out about money. So there are many things that you can do to change your mindset, and a few of them that you can do is learn about money. Number 1, learn about money, the basics, the foundations of money. You can join certain support groups, if you will, maybe like consume a lot of content where they're talking about living below your means and giving you ideas and things that you can do, like this video, to help you to live below your means. Listening to podcasts, being around people who are those who live below their means. You may need to change your environment. You may need to change the things that you're consuming, the things that you're watching, you're listening to. You may need to change some things on your social media feed, unfollow some people who encourage you to live you know, in a way that you really can't afford to live. So I would definitely encourage you to change your mind. Once you change your mind, sky's the limit. So the next thing that you can do is understand how you're spending your money. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. So if you don't know how you're spending your money, it's going to be very difficult for you to get into the other things that you need to do in order to stop living paycheck to paycheck. So how can you understand how you spend your money? You can take a look into your bank account and you can go to your transactions and you can look. Wow, you're spending money on takeout, you're spending money on clothes, you're spending money on trinkets. That's just like little stuff. You're spending tons of money just on whatever it is that you're spending that money on without looking daily at what it is that you're spending. It becomes so real when you start, or when you initially take a look at your account to see how you're spending your money. It is definitely an exercise that I think that everybody should go through, and just to kind of realize, okay, where am I spending your money? So the next thing that I would recommend is for you to understand how you're spending your money. Go into that checking account, go into the credit card account, whatever one it is that you're using, and you need to look at what you're spending. And I'm going to stress this because I find a lot of the times that a lot of the stuff on the list that I'm going to go over, people have in their minds, they think they know what they're spending. So you don't think you need to go into your account and physically look and write down and print and highlight and expense track. Trust me, it's a difference. You need to look. You need to become one with, okay? All right. Next thing that you need to do, and I will always say this because this is what this channel is about, you need a budget. You just need a budget. It's the same thing as the number 2 is knowing what it is that you're spending and looking at your transactions. When you create that budget, when that top line, you put your income, and when you get to the last thing that you are responsible for paying after your bills, your savings, your debt, your expenses, and you're at a negative, that will let you know that you're living above your means. After you're done with everything and you have $100 or $200 left, that will let you know that you're living above your means. And it's very eye-opening when you create a budget. Creating a budget is not writing down your bills in your cell phone, or writing down your bills on a piece of paper, or writing down your bills on a calendar. That is not a budget. That is you writing down your bills. A budget is writing how much money you are bringing in, and then you start chipping and taking away from the bills to the expenses, which includes food, gas, meaning like transportation, and then any savings and extra debt. That lets you, it's a clear picture. It's so clear to what you can afford and what you cannot afford. So create that budget, honey. I have tons of videos on this very channel on how you can budget with a job, without a job, on unemployment, on supplemental pay, when you didn't get paid or you did get paid, budgeting, bonus money. I have all kind of budgets, okay? I have a budgeting playlist that you can dive into if you need help. So after you understand how you're spending your money, after you create the budget, then now it's time for some budget cuts. It's time to cut some things out of the budget. Look at what you can remove, how you can reduce the amount of money that you have going out. If your subscriptions are high, get rid of them. Whatever it is that you're spending your money on, if you notice that you can save money by driving less possibly, so you're not spending as much in gas, taking a look at your grocery budget and maybe cutting down that budget as well. Maybe looking at the store that you're going to. Maybe go to a cheaper store where you can buy things at a cheaper amount. But definitely look at your budget, look at the expense tracking and say, okay, how can you save money? What can you get rid of so that you can start the process of living below your means. And then the next one, you gotta stop spending money. You just gotta stop. Like, this was something that I had to tell myself a couple of years ago, probably the year before last, when I started the no spend journey. I was like, you gotta stop spending money, because you're not stopping the bleeding. You keep spending a little bit here, a little bit there, and that's why you don't have anything left. So you have to stop. Just stop. I don't know. Just stop. I guess you have to just get tired of yourself, but stop. We have a no spend challenge coming up in January, and I will definitely encourage that you join us on the no spend challenge. But that is a way for you to just save money, put that money away so that you can start building that margin between what you have coming in and what you have going out. You can start building your savings, and so if something happens like an emergency, you're able to take care of that without dipping into your bill money and things like that. So I would definitely encourage you 1000% to stop spending money. And let me say this, okay? I don't care whose birthday it is. I don't care whose anniversary it is. I don't care about none of that. That's what keeps you broke, okay? The birthdays and the celebrations and this and that and this. It's always a reason to spend money. I'm putting that out there because I get so many excuses about the number one thing is the birthdays. Oh, I got a birthday. It's my birthday. It's this, is that. Okay, well, then you're just going to keep living above your means, and you're never going to start living below your means, because that birthday is more important than your sacrifice in order for you to get out of the financial debt that you're in, the financial situation that you're in, to make your life better. We don't want to sacrifice. We just want to have and have and have. So you got to stop having, and you have to start saving. Sacrifice is not forever. It's just for a year or two. The next thing that you can do that will definitely help a lot of this is to increase your income. So if you're able to go get another job where you can make more money, amazing. If you are able to pick up a side hustle, amazing. It helps tremendously. But there are times when there just isn't anything else to cut. You're like, I've cut everything that I can cut, or, you know, me moving is just not feasible, or me getting rid of this car is not feasible. I don't want to mess up my credit, or I don't want to, you know, make that type of change. Then increasing your income is going to be vital. Let me tell you something. It helps tremendously to increase your income in any way that you possibly can. I am definitely a proponent of having a full-time job and then having a side hustle. It is just chef's kiss. Or if you're able to make a lot of money by working for yourself, do that. Or just going back to school to increase your income, or getting a promotion at work. Just anything where you can continue to create that margin between what you have coming in and what you have going out. And I will tell you, once you increase your income, do not increase your expenses. That's the reason why people who make $150,000 and $200,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, because they continue to increase their expenses. They feel like, oh, I'm making $150,000 now. Yeah, I could pay $1,000 car note. No, make $150,000 and have a paid off car, okay? And just let your money stack and be able to live a life that you love. Or go get the $1,000, $2,000. I know people who spend crazy amounts of money on car notes. I just don't get it. But anyway, I digress. That's not my business. That's not my business. And the last thing that I will say is, if you possibly can, try your very best to stop keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with appearances, being hyper worried about what other people think about your appearance, what they think about what you drive, what they think about what you have on, your maintenance, and all of that stuff. I'm telling you, more often than not, it is happening, and it is keeping you broke. And it could be not only with like houses and cars and things like that, but it could be other things that, you know, whatever it is that your circle of people that you're trying to influence in a way that's keeping you living above your means, you have to just stop that mindset. Like, who cares? I'll talk really briefly about those people who try to keep up with the flashy cars and the clothes and the things like that. Now that I have been budgeting and have been doing this for a while and speaking to people and knowing really how people spend their money and kind of like the background things and kind of being that person myself, 9 times out of 10, those people are broke. And that is so the realest thing that Tupac ever wrote or whoever wrote it. 9 times out of 10, they are broke. No savings, no investments, own nothing. They're literally robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're living paycheck to paycheck. But because their appearance says, I'm well off, I have a few dollars in the bank, then that's what you think. And the thing is, that's what feeds their like self-confidence and self-worth. I know so many people who have nice luxury cars, they dress, they have every luxury bag that you could even think of, and they have no savings. They're in a mountain full of debt. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They can't even take care of a $1,000 emergency. I know people who can't pay their rent. I know people who, you know, and the craziest thing to me is they continue shopping. They continue the bad money habits. And so when you're a person who's looking upon those people and you're like, oh, well, you want to then go buy the bag or so that you can keep up with them, and you don't even know that they're stressed out about money, but they haven't changed their mind yet, and they continue to be a consumer. If I can encourage someone, if this is for someone, please don't let that keep you broke or keep you living above your means. And I say this because this is something that I had to work through myself. I would spend tons of money on designer things so that when people would see me out in the street, that they would say, oh, she's doing it. She got it going on. Look at her. But I was one of the brokest people that you would probably ever know. Like, I owned nothing. I had no savings. I definitely couldn't save $1,000. I couldn't take care of $1,000 emergency. I was borrowing money. I was driving that luxury car that y'all always hear me talking about, and I could barely like fix it or keep the maintenance up on it. Like, it was just horrible. And I finally had got to a point where I said, I don't care what anybody thinks of me and what I got going on. So I drive a old car with no car note, loving it. Yes, yes, yes. But I've been able to make so many financial gains because I've changed my mind and I've changed the way that I look at certain things and what's important, like having a savings account. Now, can I invest for my granddaughter? Can I help my daughter financially? Like, I'm pushing toward, I'm 40, I'm over 40, so retirement is coming. Am I going to be able to retire well? Or am I just going to keep worrying about things that are not important and then I can't retire? So it is time to start living below our means. And I'm going to continue to talk more about this and how we can do this successfully in 2025, because it is time that we get to that point where we have more money coming in than we have going out. And that is the secret to living below our means. So let's do it. I'm excited. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Also, leave down below, what are some things that you do to live below your means? Let's help each other out in the comments. I will see you besties in the next video. Go be great. Peace out.